Manga review for The Flower That Seems to Truly Dance. This is published by TokyoPop. It's a standalone volume. It's rated older teen, and there is some content warnings on the back. I'll give an additional content warning in the comments. So I'm going to talk about the first 1.5 chapters, and then I'll throw up the spoiler warning so you can save it, skip it, whatever you want to do. I'll continue to flip through it as I talk about it. So we start the story with these two kids, one of which is a dancer, but we'll get to that in a minute. It is important to the story. So this story takes place in Japan, 1941. So here is where we meet Satoru. He has been working over the last several years over in Germany, so now he's returned back to Japan. So Satoru went to the entertainment district to look for somebody. That somebody's name is Harumi, and they were the little dancer you saw in the beginning of the manga. But unfortunately, years ago, Satoru and Haru had a falling out. Satoru says something he has now regretted after all these years. So while looking for Haru one night, Satoru gets mistaken for a potential employee. So he decides to use this to his advantage and go undercover looking for Haru. And lucky for him, on the very first night, he finds Haru and he's dancing, something he is told is a rare occurrence nowadays. Satoru is so excited to see Haru and him dancing at that, but he's not ready to reveal himself. And Haru doesn't seem to realize that this new employee is Satoru. Satoru is figuring out how he should go about apologizing to Haru, so he keeps positioning himself where he's constantly running into Haru, and they keep having conversations back and forth. But Satoru is on a time crunch, unfortunately. He comes from a pretty prestigious family, and with that comes certain expectations. So not only does he have to apologize for what he said years ago, he has to come clean about his identity. So on the last page, the person he's been posing as all this time has shown up for work finally. Oops. We're gonna go just a little bit further here. After clearing up the miscommunication with the owner, Satoru continues to work at the inn. So he goes to find Haru, who's acting like nothing happened. He's still calling Satoru by his fake name. And they get to talking about why Haru doesn't dance as often now. And Satoru has a flashback from his childhood as to what he said to Haru. And that was that he hated Haru's dancing. And he never wanted to watch him dance again. Which is what he has realized after all these years, is that that was a lie. He's always loved Haru's dancing, and he knows now too that he's always loved Haru. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. This is your spoiler warning. Save it, skip it, whatever you want to do as I continue to flip through it. I thought this was such a sweet story. I actually loved this so much. For a one-shot, there's actually a lot of plot development that happens as you continue to go. Like, it's not just about Satoru, finding peace for his regret that he's had for all of these years. There's also Haru and the reason why he wasn't dancing so often nowadays. There's also like a forbidden love aspect because Satoru comes from a prestigious family and he has to marry into one just like his. At least it's expected of him. So it's got a little bit of everything, like a historical forbidden love romance, obviously some danger aspects because it's 1941 Japan, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's just a really sweet story.